You see what I'm doing here? Off there. This is a standard LED bulb. The globe is plastic. Got rid of it. It's junk. Cost about 1/10 of a fucking penny. That's it. That's all it's in there. And they charge you $20 a pack for these things. Plastic and aluminum. It takes them about a dime to make them. See that? And there's nothing down in there. Now, I'm going to pull that out and get those wires from the positive and negative, the connection there, off of there. This is the circuit inside of it. Those yellow squares are diodes. The center microchip is a bipolar coil, switch, and transistor, all in one combo. The other smaller ones are diodes and switches and all that kind of shit. There's some resistors in there. Underneath here is a DC capacitor. And the wires down in there connect to the positive and negative connections where you screw it into your bulb outlet. I'm going to take this out into the sun, and I'm going to show you how this turns into a producer of energy rather than a consumer of energy using this node technology I just talked about. And this is how they are sleight of handing you. They are spiking the potentiality of the voltage through these. That's why they nearly handed these out and wanted everybody to have these in their freaking houses, because it actually increases the potentiality of the electrical supply. And these guys never meter what comes out of your house. They only meter what they deliver to it, but they never meter what goes back into their line. One of these chips is a little micro transformer, a bipolar Tesla coil. And as the diodes switch the AC unit from the sign of up and down on the sign, the diode will turn it into a DC. So the bottom part of the sign will be flipped up on the top and it'll be inverted. And you'll wind up with a DC pulse. Now, depending on the shelving in the diode, you can make that an intermittent shelf pulse, DC impulse, combined with AC current. It's like a freaking jackhammer. It's like turbocharging electricity. This is a fraud. When they create that impulse, it turns that magnetic field on and off in that transformer, you get a voltage spike of around 200 volts. But you're using 120 volts. So now they've just doubled the potentiality, and they dump it back in to the return line right here. Goes back into your line, goes back into your freaking box. It's already past your meter. You don't even know what's happening. It goes right back into their line. Then they have a transformer out there that inverts that DC pulse back into an AC 120. But they have twice the potentiality from this signal. I can set this up out here in the sun. If I can find something in the sun and I can hold this and show you what this does. Give me just a moment. Set this in here. Because of the shelving, now I've got the polarity inverted right here. You can see, because of the shelving of the diodes, it's really low light here, but you can see where it's producing energy now. The diodes, although shelf DC in the sine wave, the diodes are a two-way switch. If you give a strong intensity of sunlight to a diode, it'll produce electricity. This is what they're not telling you. This one actually has the visual coils you can see in it. The Spike Technology coils. I'm going to try to get that board out of there without destroying it. And you can see the DC capacitors and the switches and everything in this circuit board. Came out of this Fayette 60-watt lamp. But it's a heavier wattage. It handles more power. It's a one-pack. It was $18. And this thing actually has the coils and the circuit board right in there. You can see that's a Nikola Tesla coil, bipolar coil technology switching, intermittent DC pulse switching coil. popped it out. See? I'm going to show you this circuit. Look at that. That's your switching circuit. There's your bifilar coil. You see the coil in there. Actually has a variable switch right in the circuit board. So they tell you it's 60 watt and they charge you a certain amount. Before it goes in there, they turn it to a 70 watt, 80 watt, 90 watt, 100 watt. And they charge you, it's just a switch. It's the exact same circuitry. This one says 60 watt and it's set on 60 watt right here. They kick it one notch. No, now it's 80 watt. Now it's 100 watt. Now it's 120 watt. Now it's 140 watt. And they have done nothing different, but they change what they charge you for your higher wattage. What this is actually the exact same technology that Nikola Tesla came up with in 1902. Henry Ford implemented this technology into his internal combustion ignition system. And he used that bifilar coil spike node technology that Tesla invented to create the ignition system coil that would take 12 volts, or even 6 volts at that time, and bump it up to 60,000 volts. Now, when they started using 12 volts, it bumps it up to about 127,000 volts. Piezoelectric, spike energy, and they'd run it through your spark plug to ignite your gasoline. This is exactly the same technology that your Chevy truck runs on, or your Ford tractor runs on, or your Farmhour tractor runs on. It's just induction spike node technology from Nikola Tesla. And they spike the potentiality up, and they run it back into their line, and you don't know any different. And they told you it's new technology, and that's a lie. It's not new. It's hundreds of years old. And you pay $20 a bulb for it. That circuit doesn't change. They manufacture them all the same. All they do before they make it a 60 watt, they make sure that switch is there. And they throw it up here. Now you're 140 watt. Same damn thing. And it all comes out of these little diodes that makes maybe cost them 20 cents, 30 cents to make this shit. And that's how they're thumbing the scale.